Alright, Cameron, continue down the road.
You're not much of a...
As discussed previously.
You're not much of a history fan, are you? So
No.
you're just having a great time with this, aren't you?
Oh, that doesn't look good. Do you want to...
Stay back, let's
get out of
the
there.
crossfire. Oh, it's the Franks versus the Britons. Oh no. I think the French are gonna lose here.
Yeah, I'm not really... I've never been much for history, I guess.
No, pull back.
I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Like, battles are cool, I guess, but... I don't know. They never really... I feel like history often isn't... It needs a bit of work in terms of the way that people teach you it. It still has that stigma of being a bit of like the... Like, oh, history, oh, the old teacher drones on and on about the war that happened 80 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like it needs to kind of be like... I'm gonna say jazzed up a bit, because I just want to get like gimmicky. It doesn't even like gimmicky, you know, but like, you know,
it
like
does.
It needs to...
Because, you know, like, at the really high levels where you've got people...
I think it's probably quite hard to teach, especially seeing as it has that stigma.
When you've got people producing, like they're doing, like, the research, like, they're actually poring over the things themselves, then what's really important is, like, trying to find, like, the proof, the truth.
Yeah.
Because, you know, history is always... Like, you know, someone has to write it down. Someone's always writing what they want to write down. I liked like those books, like the Horrible Histories. You know them. And I had like some other books that were like it was based on people, not really on history, I guess. But there was like, you know, like outlaws and bandits, and it was like it was told like in a way, because I was younger. It was told like in a way that was like appeal really well to kids. Because that's the thing, is that history is storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's like, it only needs to be like...
But it's often sold as, like, fact-describing.
Yeah, which is only, you know, as I was saying, it's only important at, like, the high levels of when you want to try and get, like, the raw information. But, like, predominantly history is storytelling, so a really important part is telling the story.
Being able to tell a story.
Because it's, you know, the
being
story...
charismatic in some way. Oh my god, are those skeletons?
No.
Oh.
Because it's the story that makes up the events, because it's not just...
like skeletons.
You know... It's like, we have only, like, the information of what, like, literally happened and we got recorded. And, you know, that doesn't really tell us anything. And you need people to, like, put the pieces together. Like, you know, we know a bunch of people died here, we know a bunch of people died here, and we know there's a contract saying, yep, I'll send you this much gold if you support me for the throne. It's like...
lost 2 good men.
You know, there's a story there, and the point of history is to, you know, it's a bit like the historian's supposed to be like the detective.
Yeah.
Putting together the story to then share the story, as opposed to just saying like, and then there was the battle, and then there was the battle. But then I guess sometimes... And then Edward Longshanks won the war.
It can also get like a bit... Because history quite often is like heavily entwined in politics.
It is, because that's why, you know...
And that can also...
The search for truth.
That can also be a bit... Like, just... It drains people, you know? What the fuck is that?
Again, it only drains because, you know, politics often... You know, like, House of Cards is ridiculously interesting. Because it's a story.
I would still describe House of Cards as draining.
It is, but I mean, you know, it's not an automatic put-off if you know, you can tell a good story with anything.
Because with House of Cards, it's a TV show, so shit is always happening in it. In history, shit isn't always happening. Like, sometimes you just, like, you're told about things that are worth being told about, but they're still not really, like... It's a story, but it's not an interesting one, do you know what I mean? Like, there's not like things happening... In House of Cards, it's like an episode has like a beginning, middle, and end. There's arcs and shit, and it's like it's structured, and it's like
it's always possible to make the story out of. That's the problem. You saying that when people are boring.
Life doesn't just fall into a story often.
Well, I mean, it does, because all stories they're like fictional, sometimes fictional. They're just, you know, they're a tale of what people did, and history is people. You know, if you try and go for the personal touch, which is always possible, you'll be able to find it. Like, if you were to... Particularly, like, historical novels and stuff, and...
Oh, God.
There's a, like, There's a historical podcast, or a podcast by a guy called Dan Carlin, who does really interesting stuff, because he makes it, like, about the personal, and he makes it about the story. And it changes it so much from being some kind of boring, stupid...
Yes.
Just,
podcasts feel like they wouldn't be a great medium for making it, like... Again, don't want to use this word, but, like, making it jazzy.
I mean, it is, because he's very popular, actually, for what he does. It is jazzy, you know. If you want to hear a story about, like, you know, why Rome fell, and you hear great things when he tries to go into, like, the mindset of what people were doing, and, like, the plots, because, I mean, you know Yeah.
I don't know. History, man. It's a hard pill to swallow sometimes. What are we doing here, Cameron? What's our goal?
I think I'm trying to break through. Break on through to the other side.
But you, like, sneaked in before when some people came out.
Yeah. And now, like...
And now you're stuck because they died and you they swallowed the key before they died.
Bertrand's gonna fight his way across because he needs to...
Hey, fire! Good. Okay, we've almost got it, right?
Yeah.
That's what fire means.
Oh, no, I probably shouldn't have been trying to break through the gate.
No, we haven't.
That's the strong part.
Yeah.
2750 versus 1800.
Can't we take out one of the towers? Isn't that easier? It's already on fire, isn't that?
No, the tower's stronger. This section of wall will go down fastest.
Okay. And now we wait.
You can't just say, like, oh, I don't think it's going to be, like, when I was, like, telling the story, I was saying, like, this guy, he's telling a story of history, like, I just don't know if that's going to be jazzy enough. Like, you haven't even heard it.
I feel like it's easier if you add a visual medium to, I don't know.
Well, yeah, you can, like, watch historical shows. Like, those have been going on. There's tons of history.
Also, podcasts aren't, like, a hugely absorbed... what are the words I want to use here? Aren't like a widely absorbed thing in media yet, unless it's like people who are like into the internet and know what podcasts are, and like kind of like nerdy people, and nerdy people tend to be quite into history actually. Like that's not like a rule, but like they tend to like that sort of stuff.
I thought Apple already sort of made accessing a podcast really easy, and that's why you've got big,
but then how many, like, if you pull up some, like, average person on the street and you ask them if there's any podcasts, they'd be more likely to say no than yes.
No, but I think if you go to, like, people in an office, you'd get it. And, like, you don't have to be nerdy to work in an office, although it is, that is a bit more computery.
Yeah.
Because that's where you get a lot of people doing it, because they listen to podcasts at the gym,
I like the office is like the modern nerd finding... What am I trying to say?
I think it's more middle class than nerdy.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, people do listen. I mean, you're like saying, because it's not visual. I mean,
I'm not offending anyone with what I'm saying. I'm not trying to offend.
Yeah.
I'm not. I acknowledge that I may not know anything of what I'm talking about.
What if you're not in the mood to watch something, you don't have the time to watch something? I mean, other formats than TV exist.
Oh, yeah,
so it's
not
like,
yeah.
And there's plenty of, like, they've got, like, Vikings and stuff on the old Netflix. Is that
accurate?
I don't think it tells necessarily a specific event. But the point was, it's just storytelling of history.
Yeah.
And that's always possible to do.
Well, I mean, wait, if it's storytelling of history, it has to be a specific event, doesn't it? It doesn't have to be... It has to be accurate, if it's telling history.
Well, no, as I said, it's storytelling of history as opposed to saying, like, alright, I'm going to zoom in and tell the story of, Tiberius Gracchus's siege of the Senate, if you were to watch a show called Rome, or The Tudors.
Yeah.
Oh, The Tudors, actually, that's a much better example, because that is supposed to be accurate, and it's just about, like, the scheming and... the plotting and the lives and experience. Yeah. It's a bit like a...
But then as a TV show, that's a lot more flashy.
Opera. It is. And that's what I'm telling you about. You're like wanting something flashier, so I'm telling you, I don't think you'll like it, because I just don't think that's the sort of thing you're into.
Nah.
But the Tudors would absolutely...
Careful the archers.
But the Tudors would absolutely be the sort of thing that you were mentioning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
And it's cool.
Do we want to take out any of these buildings, like the windmill?
God, no, I'll get stuck there.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to escape. I'm just one person into two bros.
We only have 3 people left.
Yeah.
Fuck. Can we get more
we only
people?
need Joan. We will later.
I mean, we do need more than Joan, otherwise...
No.
We would only have Joan. Like, we can't fight really that well. We need people.
Yeah, I'm trying to get somewhere, and then there'll be another campaign stage where I have troops and, like, an army and stuff.
Yay! What the fuck is this thing?
A wolf.
Jesus. Got 2 men on horses with swords. Come on. Little bastards. Put your back into it.
I reckon even though you wouldn't like it, if you watch something like The Tudors, you'll understand what I mean by, like, anything can be... You can always tell the story in history, because, yeah, they're big people, but it also, like, the poor people at court have things they want to do.
This isn't gonna go well. No, Joan.
Joan's dead.
No,
oh,
Joan.
This is a disaster.
Joan.
I'm ready to rage quit.
Joan.
Oh, that's where I was supposed to go.
Oh, really? No.
Fuck this, we're playing XCOM.
A black day indeed.